When you picture a bustling metropolis in Southeast Asia, what comes to mind? For many, it is the sensory overload of Ho Chi Minh City, the constant hum of motorbikes, the aroma of street food drifting through the air, and the sheer warmth of the local people. It is a city that has earned a reputation for being incredibly welcoming to outsiders. But what happens when that very hospitality is weaponized? What happens when a warm smile is actually the first step in a calculated trap?
It is a painful question, but one we need to face. Recently, a disturbing trend has started to surface in the expat community. It is a scheme built not on violence or sudden theft, but on the slow, deliberate exploitation of human empathy. We call it the kindness trap. It is a long game where the perpetrator invests weeks, sometimes months, into building a genuine friendship, only to pull the rug out when the victim is most vulnerable.
That sounds far more damaging than a typical street scam. Usually, when we think of travel scams, we think of a dishonest taxi driver or an overpriced tour. Those cost you a few dollars and some frustration. But this sounds like it attacks the very foundation of how we connect with others. How does someone even begin to set up a trap like this?
It starts with a level of helpfulness that feels almost too good to be true. Imagine you are a new expat in the city. You do not speak the language. You do not understand the local bureaucracy, and you are trying to find your footing. Then you meet someone local who seems like an absolute angel. They help you translate lease agreements, show you the best neighborhood markets, and even help you fix things in your apartment. They refuse any payment. They just want to be a good host.
And naturally, you let your guard down. You think you have found a genuine friend in a foreign land. It makes you feel secure and connected to the local culture.
Exactly. You feel a deep sense of gratitude. But once that foundation of absolute trust is laid, the script changes. The scammer introduces a sudden, high-stakes crisis. It could be a family member rushed to the emergency room, an unexpected accident, or a sudden business failure. They come to you in a state of panic, asking for a temporary loan. They promise, on everything they hold dear, to pay you back as soon as their next paycheck arrives.
And because they have been so incredibly supportive, you feel an obligation to help. You want to match their previous kindness with your own.
Precisely. You transfer the money, believing you are saving a friend in need. But once the money changes hands, the dynamic shifts. The promised repayment date passes with a vague excuse. Then comes another delay, followed by silence. Eventually, they block your number, delete their social media profiles, and disappear completely. The money is gone, but the emotional impact is far worse. The victim realizes that the entire friendship was merely an investment designed to harvest their trust.
That phrase is haunting. An investment to harvest trust. It reduces genuine human connection to a cold, calculated transaction. When you realize that someone's kindness was just a setup, it must make you question every friendly interaction you have had in the city.
It does. I recently learned about a software engineer who experienced this firsthand. He had lived in the city for over 2 years, embraced the culture, and constantly praised the locals. When a close local friend vanished with a significant sum of money under the guise of a medical emergency, the engineer was devastated. He told me the financial loss was hard, but the real damage was the lingering sense of suspicion. He found himself looking at every helpful stranger with doubt.
And that is where the true cost of this scam lies. It is not just about the individual victims. It creates a ripple effect that damages the entire community. When one person gets burned, they warn others. They post on online forums, and suddenly, a wall of suspicion goes up between the expat community and the local population.
That wall harms Ho Chi Minh City's image as a modern, open global hub. Scams and warnings online damage the city's reputation, letting a few bad actors overshadow the genuine hospitality of many.
It is a classic case of a few bad actors poisoning the well. But it also raises a deeper question about how we navigate the world. If we protect ourselves by becoming completely cynical and closed off, haven't we lost a part of our humanity? How do we find a balance between staying safe and staying open to others?
The challenge is to avoid losing trust completely, as that lets scammers win by breaking community bonds. Instead, we should move from blind trust to informed trust, understanding that real friendship takes time. If someone is overly helpful and intrusive too soon, it's okay to step back and watch.
So it is about setting healthy boundaries. But what about the systemic side of this? Is there a way to hold these people accountable? It seems like they rely on the fact that expats often do not know how to navigate the local legal system.
Scammers take advantage of language barriers and foreigners' lack of legal knowledge, assuming they won't report personal loan fraud. To fight this, local authorities and community groups should offer clearer resources for reporting fraud, increasing risks for scammers through visible consequences.
And the local community has a massive role to play here as well. The vast majority of people living in the city are honest, hardworking, and genuinely hospitable. They should be the first ones to call out this behavior because it directly harms their city's name.
Absolutely. We need to talk about these tactics openly. If you have expat friends, discuss this with them. Help them understand what is normal and what is suspicious. By bringing these schemes into the light, we strip them of their power. The strength of a community lies in its collective vigilance.
It is about protecting the very soul of the city. We cannot let these stories make us forget the countless acts of genuine, selfless kindness that happen every day. The stranger who helps you push your motorbike through a flooded street during a storm. Or the street vendor who offers you a smile and a free glass of water just because it is a hot day. Those are the real faces of the city.
They are, and we must hold on to that. We cannot let a few cynical exploiters redefine what this place stands for. The goal is to remain wise, to protect ourselves and our resources, but to never let go of our capacity for empathy. Kindness is meant to be shared, not feared.
That is a beautiful note to end on. It is a reminder that while we must navigate the world with our eyes wide open, we should not close our hearts. Trust is precious, and by protecting it, we preserve the very connections that make exploring new cultures so meaningful. Thank you for sharing these insights today. And to everyone listening, stay observant, look out for one another, and let's keep building communities defined by genuine trust rather than suspicion.